Ladies and gents, thanks to Blizzard, we do not have any guides about this game and we have to make it ourselves. So this is exactly what I'm going to do. I'm going to show you how to play this game the most unfair way so the Blizzard doesn't get any money from you or gets a little bit. Here is what you need to know. No, let's say it this way. A lot of mistakes that you're going to make in this game can be fixed easily, except for one. And I'm going to show you exactly what you need to be aware of, especially if you're free-to-play players or you hate Blizzard and you don't want to pay them money. Here's what you need to understand. When you start playing this game, you will be like 99% of players, which I'm one of them. You're going to want to build like 2 or 3 decks maybe, and you're going to want to put all your resources into these decks to level up all these minis, buy all the talents, and, you know, beat this game like a man or woman. It's a mistake. And let me show you why. Let's click on my account. Okay. Can you see this number 35? And then it says 0 out of 5. You see these numbers down here? This is the amount of experience that I get for these activities. These are the activities from the game. Let's go back here. Let's go back to the store. And let's, for example, there is a blue book with the lion symbol in the middle that costs 500 gold. It's called Mega Alliance Tome. It gives me 16,225 experience. Because my blue number, the level of my account pretty much, is 35. The higher this level is, the more experience this thing would give me, and all the other things that give experience. The lower it is, the less experience you get. This level increases every time you upgrade your mini 5 times, or you upgrade something 5 times, not one mini. Now let's take a look how upgrades are done. Okay, General Drakisat. Here is where you get these upgrades to increase the level of your account. Right here, if I click upgrade, it says I need 3 stars and 500 energy. First of all, forget about energy, you will have plenty of that, it's no big deal. You will need 3 stars to upgrade this unit. When you upgrade it, it's going to give you the +1 level to your mini, and it's going to unlock this thing. Now, that is what you need to do to increase this number, to make it 1 out of 5. Once you hit 5, your level goes up by 1. The cheapest upgrades you can do are the very first upgrades, because it only requires, like you saw, 3 stars. That means that the cheapest thing you can do is to have first upgrade on every single unit in the game. Because the second upgrade to unlock this blue square is going to cost you 10 stars and an additional reagent. Now, how do we get these stars? Let's go back to the store. This is a store where you spend your gold, aka real money, if you don't have gold. You see this minis here? There is a star symbol on every single one. That's how you buy stars in the store. Now, if you don't have the mini yet, instead of the star symbol, it would just show you this mini. And it costs 90 gold as well, so it's not expensive. From all of that, here's the first thing you need to know. Blizzard made it so that you cannot play this game with 2 decks. You have to have all the minis and as many upgrades as you can if you want to get a reasonable amount of experience for the activities in the game. Okay? Now, like I said, the second upgrade is going to be ridiculously expensive. That's why your first upgrade must be done on each mini, and that's the cheapest way to progress through the game. After you do all the upgrades, all the first upgrades, you will know exactly if you want to keep playing this game or not, right? But that is how you play the game. You buy all the minis first. There is one more reason to buy all the minis, and it's a lot of PvE, in PvE content especially, A lot of bosses cannot be killed by certain decks easily. You just replace it quickly, and this is having all the minis is the easiest way to progress through the PvE campaign. So you kind of, it's like killing two birds with one shot. You need all the minis to beat the content, and you need all the minis to increase the level of your account. So first thing that you do, you buy all the minis. Second thing that you do, you upgrade each mini once. And the third thing, which is the most important thing, that mistake that you cannot make, you need to have the first right talent. So let's go back to our Drakisat friend. So when I click upgrade, this green square is going to be unlocked. And I will be able to have one of these three talents. Oh, I will be able to buy. Sorry, I forgot the word. You will be able to buy one of the three talents. If you buy a wrong talent, it will take forever to buy a second talent because, like I said, second upgrade is going to cost you 10 stars, and you saw the stars in the store. What is the chance that you're going to get a star for the mini that you want to have 10 stars for? Yeah, it will take forever. You're going to have to spend a lot of gold to just buy something so the shop changes the minis, or wait forever until it changes itself. It's just a pain in the butt. That's why we need to have first talent right. No, we need to have the right first talent on each mini. Once you unlock this green square, the store here is going to have these talents in the pool. They will show up, like if I upgrade it now and I just buy something here, the talents for Drakisat will show up next. That they show up really quickly. Once you buy one talent, I know it's very complicated, but let's go back here. So I upgrade that. I buy one talent from the store, and I don't have any unlocked slots anymore. The talents will stop showing up in the store. That's the mechanic. Once you unlock the blue one, they will start showing up again, but there's going to be only two talents, right? Because you already bought one. And so on until you buy all of them. Okay, now you know how you should play this game, but I'm going to give you the list of the most important units and heroes, the ones you're going to be using in every single mission to blast through PvE content. You must buy things in order from the most important to the least important. We're going to judge the importance of every unit by three things: how effective it is, how easy it is to use, and how cheap it is. Oh. When you have a choice to make, you go to the list and you see how important it is. And if there's on the list, there are going to be numbers, right? So if you have number 1, 5, and 10, you buy number 1. Unless you don't care and you want to play your favorite heroes from Warcraft 3. Yay, I saw Karen, he's cool. Good luck with that. Let's start with heroes. The most used and the best hero in the game, in my opinion, is Baron Revender, this guy. If we judge him by 3 criteria, like I said, his effectiveness doesn't even require to play him. You just have to have him as a hero, and the skeletons are gonna be spawning from every single building, summoning stone, so it's constant map pressure all the time. You don't even need to use the hero himself, like I said. That is why I say this is the best number 1 choice in the game. We're going to use the Chill of the Grave talent because it's going to buff his passive ability. Like I said, it's going to buff the skeletons. The skeletons are going to be much better. They're going to be ranged. They're going to be slowing. And like I said, slowing effects, probably from all the other effects, slowing is the most important effect in the game because it slows bosses and it slows pretty much everything except structures. Your second choice that you must have is Sneed. Sneed, again, doesn't need to be deployed. His trait works all the time, and his trait is Gain 2 gold when a siege damage unit destroys a tower, captures a meeting stone, or opens a chest. So every time a siege unit does that, like, again, how do you know what siege unit is? You open the unit, you go here, look at his traits. It says siege damage. If any unit has a siege damage, it's a siege unit. So if they capture something, you get free gold if you play Sneed. If you play a Sneed deck. You don't even need to deploy Sneed. Now, that doesn't mean you will not deploy Sneed, right? You will deploy him, but you don't have to. It's easy to play. It's extremely effective, easy to play, and the price is pretty much... every hero costs the same amount of gold. Now, we're gonna combine it with a talent Land Grab, because other talents require more effort and thinking from you. What this talent does is every time when Sneed is deployed, you have to deploy Sneed. Every time you earn non-passive gold, mine gold, take chests, or your siege units destroy towers, Sneed gains 1 level for every gold that you earn. Nothing buffs your power on the battlefield like levels. Number 3, from your must-have heroes is Maya Shadowsong. We don't have any heroes that don't have to be deployed anymore. She does have to be deployed, but the way she works is she is an unbound mini, which means she can be deployed anywhere on the map. When she comes out of stealth, she does a huge AoE. It's called Fan of Knives, I believe. And when the combat ends, she goes back to stealth. And when she comes out of stealth again, she does the AoE again. She's extremely high DPS. One of her best things is her trait. My F cost is reduced by 1 for each unbound troop you play. An unbound troop is the unit that you can deploy anywhere on the map. So if you fill up the deck with these units, every time you deploy one, her cost goes back by 1. So initially she'll cost 6 gold. But if you deploy unbound minis, it's going to be 5, 4, until she costs 1. And the hero that costs 1 gold and does enormous amount of damage is just... We're going to combine my F with Remorseless Talent. Deal double damage for 2 seconds after killing an enemy. So what happens is, when she does her AoE, if she kills any low HP unit, she does double damage for the next 2 seconds. Usually she one-shots the next unit. That's how it works. And the last hero from the green list is Rend Blackhand. So this is a very expensive hero, but his ability, his trait is just, well, some players say it's like the best hero in the game. Here is what happens when you play Rend. Your other flying troops cost 1 less gold while Rend is in play, but no less than 2 gold. So Gargoyle costs 4 gold. If Rend is on the battlefield, Gargoyle costs 3 gold. And so on, same thing, like Harpies cost 3 gold. You deploy, if this guy is on the battlefield, they cost 2 gold. So your goal is not to actually hit somebody with Rend. He hits hard as well. But your goal is to keep Rend on the battlefield as much as possible and spam flying minis as much as you can. We're going to combine this talent with Scale and Steel, which makes Drake tougher and which makes Rend himself tougher. Because for those who don't know, when you kill the Drake, Rend comes out of the Drake, and if Rend has this talent, what's it called? Scale and Steel, he has an armor status, and he tanks like a demon. Like, he can tank so much damage. It's just amazing. It's not the easiest hero to use out of these 4, but it's extremely effective. The rest of the list, like I said, ideally you should follow the order. The talents are already there, but these 4 are must-have. These 4, you're going to use them to blast through the campaign and have as less problems as possible. Now the minis. With the minis is going to be the exact same thing. There's going to be a green list of importance and a red list of the rest. You upgrade them. You follow in the list of importance when you buy them and when you upgrade them. And then you're going to be good. The most demanded, the most used mini in the game is this guy's whelp eggs. You put an egg on the ground. When the egg is broken, the drake pops up. We're going to use this mini with a flame burst talent. Damage nearby enemies when hatching. Again, there is no picture. I'm going to show you how not to do it. And this is how to do it. Number 2 that we're going to need is a Quillbore. He doesn't one-shot everything on screen, but he is, again, this is a tank on demand. And at any moment when you feel like you need a tank, or you feel like you need to cover your ranged troops, you deploy Quillbore. He costs 2 gold. He has a lot of HP. He's resistant to elemental damage, to the spells. You deploy this guy, and he will tank for you. And he also, he does some damage too. In terms of functionality, this is the second best mini in the game. And by the way, the talent that you're going to take for him is Bristleback, which I don't have. Why do I not have it? Because I made a mistake. I thought the one talent was going to be cool, but it turns out it's not. Bristleback is the talent that you want to take. What it does is when the melee attackers hit you, you spread needles around you and you damage melee attackers. If you go against a pack of skeletons as a Quillbore, you're gonna kill this pack of skeletons. Next is a Necromancer. Necromancer is the mini that spawns other minis. Necromancer can push the lane on his own, and obviously the talent that you take is Jeweled Skulls, summon skeleton mages instead of skeletons. A lot, like other talents give you additional skeletons, but in terms of functionality, you always want to have as much slow-in effects as possible. Next, Harpies. Some people say that this is the best mini in the game. I don't think so, but they're still S tier. People call it now S tier. So again, this is very cheap. It costs 3 gold. They attack ground and flying minis. They do a lot of damage. The talent that you go with, again, is what I don't have. It's infectious swipes, gain poison, so your attacks poison, and the poison stacks. All the other talents are not that good. Next mini in the order of importance is Banshee. The first thing she sees, she steals it from the enemy. Again, if it's a skeleton, you're gonna waste your Banshee. If it's something like on the screen, like a Molten Giant, she'll give you great value for the gold cost. It's not used in PvP much because it can be easily countered, like I said, by putting something between the important target and the Banshee. But in PvE, she is extremely effective because she can possess a very high cost minis, and the algorithms in PvE are very predictable. After failing certain encounter a few times, you're going to learn the algorithm and you will know that, the abomination is going to come from there, and you have your Banshee ready, and she steals the unit that costs 6 gold. The talent we're gonna go with is Will of the Necropolis. It explains itself, right? Again, very simple talent, doesn't require anything from you. As long as you possess the target, you're good. Next is a Gargoyle. Gargoyle does not damage any units, it only damages structures and the bosses. But the way it damages structures, like you gotta see that. It literally almost one-shots targets, like 2 or 3 shots. That's how powerful it is. And we're going to use, I use this unit in my heroic campaign, which I make guides for, by the way, how to complete heroic campaign with no talents and no heroes. I use Gargoyle a lot. We're going to use this Wing Buffet talent that increases its move speed by 33%. That's pretty much the only weakness of the Gargoyle. It's slow. But other than that, it's probably the best structure destroyer in the game. In terms of toughness, in terms of not being able to be hit from the ground by ground minis and stuff like that. Next mini in the order of importance is Meat Wagon with a talent fillet, whatever, the one that you see on the screen. Meat Wagon is again mostly used in PvE. Extremely effective mini. And with this talent, the bosses will not be able to aggro you. So sometimes you will be able to damage the bosses for free. If there is no enemies units around, Midwagon will keep attacking the boss, and the boss is just gonna stand without doing anything because the range is gonna be too high, and the boss will not be able to aggro your Midwagon. This is a very, very, very effective, and in my opinion, it's very unfair mini. But Blizzard is doing unfair things to us by making us pay for every single step in this game. So, okay, Blackrock Pyromancer. There is a lot of range minis that attack all the types of targets that are really good, but this woman costs 3 gold. And for the 3 gold, look what she does. Her attacks are splash damage. If you buy, for example, Darkspear Troll, he costs 3 gold as well, but he can only attack 1 target at a time, unlike Pyromancer. So Pyromancer is the best defending tool that I know. And obviously you can use it as an attacking tool. The only minus she has is she's very slow in terms of movement speed. The talents that you use, never click the right things. Conflagrate. Splash area is doubled, so her splash is going to be wider. Again, very simple and very effective. That's what you take. Next mini that we need is Blizzard. So Blizzard is a spell for, as soon as I be able to, there we go. Blizzard kills a lot of things. It does enormous amount of damage. It slows targets, and we also combine it with Cold Snap talent, freeze enemy troops in place. Before the patch came out, it would just root the enemies inside of this area. But now, it doesn't root flying minis, but it completely disables ground minis. So everything that steps on the ground will be frozen, not rooted. They won't be able to attack. It's just going to be frozen. So it's like, you can call it stunned. However, it no longer roots or stuns the flying stuff. Again, it's the best. I think this talent is much better now. They added more crowd control to that. It does enormous amount of damage, and it's extremely effective. You will need that spell in your decks a lot of times. Safe Pilot. It's an unbound mini. It costs 3 gold. So what happens is, see, it works as a spell first. Boom. So she lands on the ground, then she kills everything. We're going to combine this mini with a gnomish clocking device, which means, let's go back. When she lands, boom, she will be invisible. And when she does her first hit, she comes out of stealth and she does 50% more damage. In PvP, she kills a necromancer on her own. Worgen with a talent Premeditation increases ambush damage by 50%. So when you deploy Worgen, he's invisible, and when the first hit, it's an ambush. The reason why we need this talent is because it 2-shots some enemies. If you use this talent, it 1-shots the enemy. It's unbound, so we're going to combine it with Maiev. It works really well with Maiev, reduces her costs as well. And the little thing, just so you guys know, Worgen kills Huntress in 2 hits. Huntress that everybody is always so afraid of, and the one that costs 5 gold. This guy kills her in 2 hits. Angry Chickens with the Furious Fall talent, which makes them attack faster, pretty much, that's it. Now, these units, or this unit, will not be used very often by you to attack. However, if these chickens are not focused, they kill everything faster than anybody else in this game. They are extremely fast at killing things quickly, as long as they're not focused. If you focus them, you're gonna, Pyromancer can one-shot the whole thing with 1 hit. But they are extremely good at defending. I use them in my heroic campaign. They cost 2 gold. For 2 gold, if you deploy them on time, they just erase everything on screen. Drake with the Mother Drake talent. So this is a very slow and very high DPS, very huge area of effect unit. and we combine it with a talent, Mother Drake, that periodically summon a whelp egg. So you will see that, like, the way it looks is it's flying slowly, and from time to time it shits with eggs, and it puts an egg on the ground every something like 10 seconds or something like that. If it's flying, if it lives for long enough, you're gonna see the line of whelp eggs on the ground. Again, free minis, you can't go wrong with that. The best talent so far. Huntress, some people say she's the best mini in the game. I would disagree with that because she is definitely one of the most useful minis in the game, but she is expensive as hell. She costs like one of the most expensive heroes. She costs 5 gold. But what she does is, you can see, her attacks are splash, and she can attack all the ground and flying minis. She does that from very far away, and she is resistant to elemental damage, which means elemental damage and skill and spells, right? You combine it with the Shadow Meld talent, which gives her stealth and ambush, which means her first hit will always be harder than your other her other hits. Now, Warsong Raider, we're going to use this mini with Sneed to build a great PvP deck. You can also use it in PvE, but I don't use it often. It's not because it's useless, it's because I just have different ideas in mind. But again, I consider it one of the top priorities in the game, having this mini. I pair it usually with the Raising Focus talent, becoming a siege unit, ignoring enemy minis. So it runs straight to the closest structure and kills it. Again, if you pair it with Sneed's bonus, extremely effective. However, it will not be able to get the gold from chests anymore, because it's going to ignore the chests. So you have to really think if you want to pair it with this talent. But this talent is definitely the easiest to execute and the most useful, in my opinion, as a first talent. The Abomination with the Cannonball talent. This guy costs 6 gold. He does the AoE attacks, though. The one special thing about this guy, as you can see on the screen, every 5 seconds he hooks the closest range target, and he prioritizes this target. He kills this target after hooking. Now, it doesn't look impressive on screen. However, it completely destroys the enemy's positioning in PvP and even in PvE. That's why I say this is the best tank in the game. You combine it with this Cannonball talent on deploy, and at 50% health, stun nearby enemies for 5 seconds. What we need to focus our attention on is, at 50% health, stun nearby enemies for 5 seconds. Here's how it works. When you bring his HP down to 50%, he stuns everything around. However, if after that you're going to heal him for 51%, like 50% HP plus 1 HP, and then somebody hits him again, that means he was just brought to 50% again, and he will stun everybody again. And you can do it infinitely if you combine it with some healing stuff. Just so you know. You don't have to do this. I didn't tell you that. If somebody asks who said that, tell them I don't remember her name. Goblin Sappers, my favorite mini. I've done a lot of damage with these two. So what they do is, you can see, they just blow up things. It's a 2 gold unit. For 2 gold, you pretty much get a tower like that. They ignore everything else. They don't attack anything else. And they just walk straight to the closest structure and blow it up. I will combine it with the talent Rocket Power Turbo Boots, which gives him the fast trade and makes him the fastest mini in the game. Like I said, everything else requires more thinking, positioning, and different synergies. Earth Elemental. Again, this is a siege unit. Don't forget the Sneed's deck. It doesn't attack troops. Special thing about this guy is that he is unbound. You can deploy him anywhere else, anywhere on the map. He is extremely good tank. He can tank a lot of damage from the tower. He is a siege unit, so he does extra damage to the 2 structures. And we're going to combine we're going to combine it with Obsidian Shard. On death, split into 2 smaller earth elementals. Again, it doesn't require any thinking or something. It just makes it more tanky. When you kill the guy, you have to kill 2 little guys, which makes them tougher, right? And the last unit that we are going to talk about from our green list, that doesn't mean you don't need the rest. That means that these are the must-have things that you will be able to clear all the PvE content with. Where is this pieces? You know what I'm saying? Where is it? Darkspear Troll. Now, Darkspear Troll. Now, this guy costs 3 gold. But the way he attacks is like, he has one of the highest ranges in the game. And we're going to combine it with a big bad voodoo talent. Regenerate 20% health every second. This is extremely effective, because if he doesn't get one-shotted, he can tank a lot of damage from flying minis. I've seen him killing like 3, 4 minis, big drakes. Rend Drake, by the way, Rend cannot, when Darkspear Troll starts attacking Rend cannot reach Darkspear Troll. Rend has to fly, and only then they can reach Darkspear Troll. That is how good these trolls are. Costs 3 gold, and he only attacks single target, so it's kind of a competition for Pyromancer. I still include him in the green list. Now, speaking of PvP, I cannot teach you PvP in this guide, right? So the only thing I can show you is there is a deck without any talents that has a lot of synergy. It's a sneak deck, so you already have all the minis and the hero for it on the green list. So if you just follow the green list, you'll be able to set up this deck and just go play. I'm gonna leave the guide right here. So for those who want a PvP right away, you'll be able to do that.